the white guy, Peter Blacker, who's the head of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Bridge is like the new initiative. I say new, but it was started in 2021, and they initially started up as a way to, um, like measure how well DEI is doing. And after they measured how it was doing in the marketplace, it's just like a marketing thing, right? Like how you see all the Dove commercials, how we have the injections into like the video game commercials and whatnot. They were like, okay, people are resisting this as a marketing ploy, so we need to get people to believe in it. We can't just have this as a standalone marketing thing. It has to be embedded in company culture. You need DEI in the way you hire, in the way you think of new products, in the way you make the products, in the availability of the products, and in the pricing of the products. So they're trying to make ESG inescapable. They're not getting rid of it. They're just like hiding it. And yeah,
Is this what we're
this
talking
is
about here?
the yeah, this is the original Bridge website. And if you scroll down, they'll have like the information on the Bridge 2.0 initiative. Bridge 2.0 is the one that I'm speaking about right now, and I have like if I can link this in our little chat here. I
Yeah, of
made a
course.
TLDR on all of the stuff I found out. I only went down this rabbit hole because like the quartering I don't know if you know who he is, right?
Oh,
The
I love
journey, yeah.
him. He's great.
Yeah, I saw a video from the quartering where he was promoting an app called Veebs, and Veebs had Campbell's Soup listed as one of the top 10 woke companies of 2023. And I was like, I don't remember hearing anything about Campbell's. What is that? So I Googled Campbell's and found out that Campbell's is one of the people who set up and promoted the initial startup of Bridge. And so, like, Campbell's, along with Condé Nast, is trying to make this part of company culture. And if you look at the Bridge 2.0 website as well, it lists so many high-powered like CEOs and CFOs that are involved in doing this. So there's like this is the parent Bridge website. On the
Hmm.
Bridge 2.0 website, which is in my tweet thread. Let me see if I can bring that one up specifically for you. They have like a list of all the CEOs from companies who are buying into this bridge and who are going to be working towards embedding this in company culture and making it inescapable. And if you look at their IMAX is like their blueprint for how they're going to embed this into the company culture. It has really weird wording on there, like again, like equity of pricing and equity of availability. And I'm wondering if like that Wendy's thing we're seeing recently with dynamic pricing isn't exactly following Uber so much as it is trying to test the waters for seeing how people will react to equitable pricing. So before they try and say like you're white so you pay more, you're black so you pay less, you're trans so you pay less, etc. They're going to try and do it as like a, oh, well, we're just going to try dynamic pricing for fast food rush hours and whatnot.
Which is what we saw with Wendy's. They announced
Mm-hmm.
the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
This is like a crazy deep rabbit hole that I did not expect to fall into. And it's like however you feel about like the quartering and his videos, I think this is an important thing that more people need to notice is happening. Because if they are allowed to get this entrenched in how companies work and how products are developed and sold, it'll be much harder for us to reverse the tide. We need to catch it early and be like, this is unacceptable.
wow. So on the website, it talks about this lady named Brooke Hill,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked her up on LinkedIn. Here she is, Brooke Hill, she her data and learning for equity and inclusion. Um, why is it always the white girl? Like why,
Always.
why is it always the white girl? What is like Mel Blabs?
The
Y'all are missing out. You're missing out.
Yeah, we gotta be psychos.
Yeah, the CEO is Cheryl Dijja, and there's a video of her talking about this stuff, and it is just full mask off. Like even talking about how people saying that they're losing their jobs doesn't matter because of what they're doing to terraform the industry. Like it is insane that these people are just saying it out loud.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I brought up Larry Fink before as well because this was going around on Twitter and like people were quote retweeting this and watching it. But once you understand what Bridge is and once you know that Bridge exists, Larry Fink saying that you need to force these behaviors, and then reading Bridge trying to change how their consumers think at a corporate level, it becomes a little bit more freaky.
Man, this whole thing is just nasty, just
Yeah.
nasty. And it's like, pulling back up the executive committee, like really what you see here is it's a bunch of women who hate each other or who hate themselves. That's really what it
Who
comes
hate
down
themselves,
to.
hate their countries, hate their fellow citizens. It's crazy.
Wow, that is insane and so sad. Sephora, which is the Sephora.
What did you say?
That was a very male pronunciation.
Sephora, right?
Sephora?
The Sephora, the Kentucky Fried Chicken.
That's called Sephora, male specimen.
and Gallo. It's amazing, man. This is how is Peter Blacker, which I don't know if we can make a better name than that. Peter Blacker. The white guy, Peter Blacker, who's the head of diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's just spectacular. Oh my God.
I learned recently the most recent CEO they took on was a lady from Milk Pep. And apparently Milk Pep is the company that did the entirety of the Got Milk campaign.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Golly, this is what a rabbit hole, and we are in for it.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, here's the thing I always ask is like, it's great to know this, but what do you do about it? Like, do you boycott you saw the Bud Light boycott and all that stuff, and you see pushback to certain companies, and we talked about voting with your wallet earlier, but at the same time, what do you do? What do you do to counterbalance this bullshit that is being just brainwashed into these companies? Because at the end of the day, really what it comes down to is these executives are only looking out for themselves because they don't want to be called racist. They don't want to be called a bigot or transphobic or whatever. So they're saying, what do I need to do to not get fired? That's really what it comes down to.
What I figured was that when BlackRock and the other companies approached CEOs with this, like, you will push our ideology nonsense, they came to the CEOs and they were like, you will experience losses if you push this. We will make up for those entirely. We will pay you so much money that your losses will not matter. Which is why even with most customer pushback, you saw companies continuing to do it, like Gillette. And they just didn't care because they were still getting paid. They didn't have to care because BlackRock was telling them, your old customers who are going to rebel are going to be a small portion. We'll make up those losses and you'll have a new, more flourishing consumer base. But with the Bridge 2.0, they pointed out the marketing wasn't enough. DEI didn't go far enough, which is what we saw with Bud Light. They want to prevent another Bud Light from happening. And we see other people like Kid Rock going on Joe Rogan and reneging on his, like, oh, it's fine to drink Bud Light now. I was just having a little bit of a meltdown. Bud Light's fine. I hung out with the CEO. Like, they're great. It's a great time. Joe Rogan saying that people who were, like, boycotting were, just having a bit of a hissy fit, And then I've seen some content creators also talking about how, like, you got to reward the companies who realize they did something wrong. I don't think Bud Light realized they did anything wrong. They've just been put in this position where their DEI overlords have revoked their, like, status. I can't remember what the number thing is called, but they got their, like, number on ESG revoked. And they're in this position of, like, we took all of this bribery money from a shady company and now we don't know how to fix it. So I don't think anymore it's about the money, especially with Bridge embedding itself. It's about pushing ideology. So they don't care about being called racist or transphobic, and now they don't even care about the money. They care about just pushing the ideology to change the landscape. And it's not even of just this country, it's globally.
Wow. I'm looking through here, by the way, and like I'm going back to this Bridge website here and looking at all the board of directors here. Let's just do us a favor. Look for the diverse. Let's just look for look for white men and black men. Let's look for a Latin man, someone from they would call him Latinx, right? Even though he's clearly a boy, or maybe he has they them pronouns. Who knows? We have one white guy, two white guys, one black guy, We have another. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, four white guys, and really just like it's just a bunch of women.
It's mostly Karens.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if someone's gonna work at this kind of company and is gonna just like embed this message into everything, wouldn't it be Karens?
Well,
I mean-
just like how the communists use feminists as useful idiots, women are invaluable for pushing ideological subversion.
Yeah.
Because the amount of like empathy that women typically employ gets in the way of thinking logically sometimes. And so them being able to push an ideology that also makes them feel like they're a good person doing something good is going to help it get entrenched a lot faster than if you were targeting just men.
Man, these guys are idiots. My God, it's insane. As these like useful idiots. That's what it comes down to. Wow.